Today, I want to speak to the fire that lives within you, the part of you that refuses to be tamed, that refuses to be silenced, that knows deep down you were born to rise. Every morning you wake, you are given a choice to walk through life half asleep or to stand tall, claiming your power with intention and courage. Becoming unstoppable is not a sudden miracle. It is a rhythm, a dance with your own discipline, a daily devotion to habits that shape your soul and sharpen your spirit. Today, I will share 7 daily habits that, if embraced, will not only move you forward, they will lift you above doubt, fear, and hesitation until nothing can stand in your way. It is time to awaken the unstoppable force inside you. There is a quiet magic in the morning. The world is still soft, wrapped in the hush of possibility, and the air hums with promise. How you greet these first moments matters more than you might ever imagine. To own your morning is to claim the first victory of your day before the world can weigh you down. It is to rise not out of obligation, but out of purpose. It is to tell yourself, I am here and I am ready to move mountains. When you take this moment for yourself, when you rise with intention, you set a rhythm for your life that no obstacle can break. The habits we practice at dawn ripple through every hour that follows. A morning begun in thoughtless routine becomes a day of thoughtless drifting. But a morning lived with awareness, with focus, is a day that sings with clarity and power. Picture the sun brushing your skin as it rises, a reminder that light comes to those who are willing to awaken and embrace it. Stretch your body, speak words that lift you. Drink deeply from the well of your own spirit. Each act, however small, is a declaration. I choose to lead myself. I choose to step forward. To own your morning is to honor your dreams before the world can question them. It is in those first quiet hours that you decide whether you will be swayed by doubt or anchored by determination. Imagine the strength that comes when your mind is nourished with intention, when your heart is steadied by gratitude, when your body is prepared for the journey ahead. The day becomes not a series of challenges, but a canvas for your courage. And courage, once practiced in the small moments, becomes unstoppable in the large ones. This is not a call to perfection, nor a demand for grand gestures. It is a call to presence, to stand fully in the moment where possibility waits, to sip the silence before the noise, to recognize that you are the first and most important influence on your own life. Each morning you rise is a gift, an invitation to begin again, to shape the contours of your destiny with the hands of intention and resilience. The power is yours, every sunrise, to claim or to surrender. And when you claim it, you become unstoppable, not because the world bends to you, but because you bend yourself toward the life you were made to live. So let the morning be your altar, your sanctuary, your proving ground. Stand tall as the sun awakens. Speak kindly to yourself, fiercely to your dreams, and gently to the world around you. Each dawn is an opportunity, a heartbeat, a chance to declare, I am here, I am ready, and nothing can hold me back. The world may try to steal your momentum, but the rhythm you set with these first hours will carry you forward, steady, unwavering, unstoppable. To own your morning is to own your life, and there is no power greater than that. The mind is a garden, and every thought you plant will grow. If you leave it untended, weeds of doubt, fear, and distraction will take root. But when you feed your mind with power, when you pour into it daily the nourishment of wisdom, insight, and courage, you cultivate strength that no storm can uproot. Reading, reflecting, and speaking words of affirmation are not mere habits. They are acts of defiance against mediocrity, against the whispers that say you are not enough. They are your declaration that your mind will not settle for ordinary, that it will rise to meet the extraordinary life you were meant to live. Each day offers a choice. You may fill your hours with noise and distraction, letting the world dictate your thoughts, or you may take deliberate moments to strengthen your inner voice. Open a book, even for a few pages, and let the words of those who dared to dream before you fuel your imagination. Speak aloud affirmations that remind you of your power, your courage, your ability to rise above every obstacle. Reflection is the quiet companion to these acts. Pause, consider, and allow the lessons of the day to shape you, not break you. This is how a mind becomes unstoppable, how resilience becomes second nature. Feeding your mind is not simply about knowledge, it is about alignment. It is about filling yourself with ideas that lift, with truths that steady, with visions that expand. Imagine the strength you carry when your thoughts are sharp, when your focus is unwavering, when you can hold your purpose clearly in the center of your awareness. Every idea you consume, every affirmation you speak, every reflection you honor becomes a brick in the foundation of your unstoppable self. It is through these daily acts that you build a mind capable of extraordinary endurance, creativity, and clarity. And do not underestimate the quiet power of repetition. Each morning you read, each night you reflect, each moment you remind yourself of your worth. You are weaving a tapestry of resilience. You are creating an inner fortress where fear cannot linger, where doubt cannot thrive, where your vision for your life becomes vivid, undeniable, and unshakable. The world may challenge you, it may attempt to scatter your thoughts, but a mind fed with intention and strength cannot be diverted. It remains steadfast, alert, and bold, ready to navigate whatever comes its way. This practice, this daily devotion, is more than discipline. It is love for yourself. It is the act of believing that your potential deserves attention, that your dreams deserve clarity, that your spirit deserves a space to grow. Every word you read, every truth you embrace, every affirmation you repeat is a step forward on the path to becoming unstoppable. You are shaping a mind that cannot be tamed, a soul that cannot be silenced, a life that will not accept anything less than greatness. Feed your mind, nurture it, and watch as it lifts you higher than you ever imagined, until your vision, your courage, and your power become irresistible forces in the world. Your body is not just flesh and bone, it is the vessel of your spirit, the engine of your dreams, the home where your courage resides. To move your body is to honor it, to acknowledge the strength that pulses within you every moment. When you rise and stretch, when you walk, run, or dance, you are not simply exercising. You are declaring that you refuse to be passive, that you will not let stagnation take hold of your life. Each movement becomes a song of resilience, a rhythm of determination, a heartbeat that says, I am alive and I am ready. The soul and the body are inseparable companions. When one is neglected, the other falters. But when you care for your body with intention, you awaken your spirit. A brisk walk, a morning stretch, the simple act of moving through space becomes a meditation, a way to release fear, frustration, and doubt. Muscles strengthen, lungs expand, and in that growth, your mind begins to clear. You feel the freedom of possibility, the unshakable truth that you were made to rise, that no obstacle is too heavy, no burden too great, because the strength within you has been awakened and nurtured daily. It is easy to underestimate the quiet power of routine. A small act, repeated faithfully, accumulates into a force that shapes your entire life. When you move your body every day, you teach yourself discipline and consistency. You teach yourself patience and perseverance. You teach yourself to honor the covenant between effort and reward. Each drop of sweat, each moment of strain, each heartbeat racing with purpose is a lesson. That strength is not given, it is earned. That energy is not borrowed, it is cultivated. That greatness is not a gift, it is the result of faithful care. Movement also clears the mind and renews the heart. In the rhythm of your steps, the flow of your breath, the stretch of your limbs, you reconnect with yourself. You remember that life is not meant to be carried in stillness, weighed down by hesitation and fear. You remember that your spirit thrives in motion, that your courage awakens in effort, that your dreams grow in the soil of consistent action. The body, when honored, becomes a temple where ideas flourish, where confidence deepens, and where the unstoppable self begins to manifest. So let this daily ritual be sacred. Let it not be a task to check off, but a moment to cherish, a way to commune with your own power. Rise with intention, move with gratitude, and let every motion remind you that you are capable, you are strong, and you are alive in a world that needs the full force of your energy. When your body moves, your soul rises. When your soul rises, the world cannot contain you. And in this unity of body and spirit, you become unstoppable, carrying forward with strength, grace, and a rhythm that cannot be silenced. The company you keep is the soil in which your spirit grows. Every smile, every word, every glance around you shapes who you are and who you are becoming. To guard your circle is not to push people away, but to protect the sacred space where your dreams can take root. Life is filled with voices, some soft and encouraging, some sharp and draining, but you have the power to choose which voices echo in your heart. Choose those who lift you higher, who see your light even when you doubt it, who believe in the impossible with you. This is not vanity, it is wisdom. For your energy is precious, and it deserves to flow among those who honor it. Every relationship has a mirror. Look closely at the people around you, and you will see reflections of yourself. Do they encourage growth or breed doubt? Do they inspire courage or invite fear? To guard your circle is to decide that your time, your energy, your dreams, and your joy are not for compromise. It is to say that your life matters, and you will not allow negativity, envy, or lethargy to take root where hope and ambition belong. This act of discernment is a habit of the unstoppable. It is a daily choice to surround yourself with light, even when shadows call out for attention. It is easy to underestimate the subtle ways people shape your life. Words spoken carelessly can linger in your mind for hours, even days, weakening your resolve. Encouragement given sincerely can lift you to heights you never imagined. When you protect your circle, you consciously curate an environment that fuels your fire rather than extinguishing it. You allow laughter to echo freely, dreams to breathe without restraint, and ambition to thrive without apology. This is how resilience grows, not in isolation, but in the careful cultivation of support and inspiration. Guarding your circle also means having the courage to let go. Let go of friendships that drain you, of partnerships that demand too much without giving back, of influences that cloud your purpose. This is not cruelty, it is love for yourself and for the people you leave behind. In making space for growth, you invite in those who belong, those whose presence nurtures your vision, whose energy resonates with your ambition. In this way, the circle you guard becomes a sanctuary, a place of accountability, a place where your potential can unfold unhindered. Remember, your life is a reflection of the company you keep. Every conversation, every connection, every shared moment contributes to the architecture of your destiny. To guard your circle is to take responsibility for the quality of your energy, to honor the sacredness of your journey, and to recognize that the people you allow near you can either weigh you down or lift you higher. When you surround yourself with those who see your worth, believe in your dreams, and challenge you to rise, you create an invisible force field around your life, a force that nourishes growth, sparks courage, and propels you toward being truly unstoppable. Life often asks us to chase the extraordinary, to wait for the grand moments before we allow ourselves to feel pride or joy. But the truth is, greatness is built in the quiet victories, in the steps taken when no one is watching, in the courage to keep moving, even when the mountain seems too steep. To celebrate small wins is to honor the journey itself, to recognize that progress, no matter how subtle, is the heartbeat of unstoppable growth. Each step forward, no matter how tiny, is a declaration that you are moving, that you are learning, that you are becoming. We live in a world that praises the monumental while overlooking the gradual, but those small victories are the mortar between the bricks of your success, the sparks that light the fire of your ambition. Completing a task you've been putting off, waking up early to take the first step toward a goal, speaking your truth in a situation that demands courage. These moments may feel insignificant, yet they carry the weight of transformation. Celebrating them is not self-indulgence. It is an acknowledgement that you are shaping your life with intention, that every action matters, that every effort has meaning. Recognition of small wins nourishes the soul and strengthens resolve. When you pause to honor progress, you give yourself proof that your efforts are not in vain. You remind yourself that even the tallest mountains are climbed one step at a time, and that persistence, patience, and consistency are the true architects of change. By celebrating what you have accomplished today, you fuel tomorrow's courage. You teach your mind to focus on possibility rather than failure, to see growth instead of struggle, to feel pride instead of doubt. This habit becomes a shield against despair, a source of motivation that never runs dry. Celebrating small wins also changes your relationship with yourself. It teaches you gratitude for your own effort, respect for your own discipline, and love for the person who keeps going when the road is hard. Each time you acknowledge your progress, no matter the size, you strengthen your confidence and affirm your ability to persevere. This practice, repeated daily, compounds over time. The quiet victories of today become the foundation of the monumental successes of tomorrow. You begin to see that life is not only about reaching the destination, but about honoring the path you travel, and in that honor, you become unstoppable. Do not wait for perfection to celebrate. Do not wait for applause or recognition from the world. Celebrate yourself, celebrate your efforts, celebrate the courage it took to keep going when giving up seemed easier. These moments of acknowledgement are not fleeting. They become the lifeblood of your resilience, the rhythm of your growth, the proof that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. And when you cultivate this habit, you discover something extraordinary, that by honoring each small win, you are building a life that cannot be stopped, a spirit that cannot be broken, and a journey that will always lead you higher than you thought possible. There is a quiet power in giving, a strength that is born not from obligation, but from the willingness to extend your hand, your heart, your energy, without asking for anything in return. To give without expectation is to recognize that generosity is not a currency, it is a way of life. It is the gentle force that flows from your soul, the invisible thread that connects you to the world, the seed you plant today that may bloom in ways you will never fully see. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, has the potential to ripple through lives, to spark courage, to awaken hope, to remind someone that they are not alone. When you give freely, you open yourself to a deeper truth, that your value is not measured by what you receive, but by what you contribute. The universe has a way of returning energy, not in the forms we expect, but in ways that strengthen us, teach us, and elevate our purpose. Acts of generosity build character. They teach patience, empathy, and humility. They remind us that life is not merely a collection of achievements, but a shared journey where lifting another lifts you in return. There is a joy, quiet and profound, in knowing that you have been a beacon for someone else, even when no one witnesses it, even when no reward is offered. Giving without expectation also frees your spirit. So often we tie our acts to outcomes, to recognition, to gratitude. But when you detach from the need for acknowledgement, you give with purity and intention. You give because it is your nature to uplift, to encourage, to heal. A smile offered without motive, a word of encouragement spoken in passing, a gesture of help extended without conditions. All of these become expressions of a soul that refuses to be small, a life that refuses to be confined. Generosity becomes a practice, a daily habit that strengthens not only those you touch, but yourself, as you learn to live from abundance rather than scarcity. This kind of giving transforms the way you see the world. You begin to notice the quiet struggles of others, the hidden pains, the small victories waiting to be celebrated. You learn that influence is not wielded through power or dominance, but through empathy, through connection, through the courage to give without fear. Every act of kindness plants a seed. Every gesture of generosity nurtures a forest of possibility. And in giving freely, you create a life that is magnetic, irresistible, unstoppable, not because the world bends to your will, but because your spirit flows in harmony with the deepest truth of existence, that we rise higher together than we ever could alone. To give without expectation is to claim a habit that defies limitation. It is to recognize that your energy, when shared selflessly, multiplies. It is to understand that generosity is not weakness, but power. And when this practice becomes a part of your daily life, it changes everything. You become a source of light that cannot be dimmed, a presence that cannot be ignored, a force that inspires and uplifts beyond measure. Through giving, you discover an unstoppable rhythm of life, a rhythm where every act of kindness, every moment of generosity, every heartfelt contribution makes you and the world around you infinitely stronger. There is a power in words that cannot be silenced, a force that lives in the courage to speak your truth even when the world whispers for you to stay quiet. To speak boldly is not to shout over others or demand attention, but to honor the voice within you, the voice that knows your worth, the voice that refuses to be hidden in shadows. Every time you speak with honesty and conviction, you remind yourself and the world that your experiences, your feelings, your ideas, and your vision matter. Silence may be safe, but truth is liberating. The fear of judgment often chains our voices. We worry that we will be misunderstood, rejected, or dismissed. Yet every moment spent silenced is a moment your spirit is dimmed, a moment your light does not shine, a moment your potential is muted. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward in spite of it. When you choose to speak, when you choose to let your truth be known, you affirm that your existence has significance, that your perspective matters, that your voice is a tool for change, connection, and growth. Speaking your truth boldly transforms not only your life, but the lives of those around you. It opens doors for others to do the same, creating ripples of honesty, authenticity, and courage. When you stand in your own power, unafraid of disagreement or rejection, you show others that their voice too deserves to be heard. This is not arrogance, it is integrity. It is the practice of aligning your words with your values and your actions with your beliefs. Each declaration of truth strengthens the foundation of your character and builds the bridge between who you are and who you were meant to become. Bold truth requires practice, patience, and self-compassion. Some days, the voice trembles. Some moments, fear feels heavier than courage. Yet every attempt, no matter how small, is a step toward freedom. Speak in quiet moments, speak in writing, speak in acts of authenticity, and let your voice grow stronger with each repetition. Truth has a rhythm, a cadence, a power that grows when nurtured consistently. The more you embrace it, the more unstoppable your spirit becomes. To speak boldly is to live without apology. It is to reject the notion that your existence must be small to fit into someone else's expectations. It is to claim your place in the world unapologetically, to let your ideas, your convictions, and your heart shine. When you make it a daily habit to honor your truth, you build a life that cannot be shaken by the doubt of others, a life guided by authenticity, courage, and clarity. And in this practice, you discover the unstoppable force of a soul unafraid, a voice unbound, and a life lived fully in the light of your own truth. To commit to the unstoppable self is to make a promise to yourself each morning, a vow that no matter the trials, no matter the falls, no matter the moments when the world seems to whisper that you cannot, you will rise. It is a daily choice, a deliberate act of courage to stand in your own power, even when fatigue drapes over your shoulders and doubt tries to cloud your vision. To be unstoppable is not to live without struggle. It is to rise in spite of struggle, to move forward with tenacity when every part of you wants to retreat, to honor the call of your own potential above the comfort of surrender. Life will test you. It will throw storms that bend, winds that shake, and fires that scorch. But commitment to yourself is the anchor that holds you steady. It is the quiet voice in your soul that whispers, "Rise again. You have everything you need to keep going." Each day is a new page, a fresh chance to reinforce the foundation of your life with discipline, courage, and intention. The unstoppable self is built not in moments of ease, but in the decisions made in the face of resistance, in the choice to move forward when the path is unclear, in the habit of showing up for yourself without fail. This commitment requires patience, because the growth you seek is not instantaneous. There will be setbacks that bruise your spirit, mistakes that sting your pride, and moments of doubt that tempt you to pause indefinitely. Yet every time you choose to rise, every time you honor your potential, you are proving to yourself that you are capable of enduring, capable of adapting, capable of more than you imagined. To commit to yourself is to understand that failure is not defeat, but a teacher, a guide, a step along the staircase that leads to your full expression. Living as your unstoppable self also means embracing consistency over perfection. It is in the small, repeated acts, waking up with purpose, speaking your truth, feeding your mind, moving your body, nurturing relationships, celebrating wins, and giving freely, that you become a force beyond measure. Each choice to uphold your own power compounds into momentum that cannot be halted. The self that refuses to be defined by fear, doubt, or circumstance is unstoppable because it does not rely on external validation. It relies on inner integrity, resilience, and relentless commitment to growth. Commitment to the unstoppable self is the highest form of self-respect. It is to honor your dreams as sacred, your life as worthy, and your purpose as undeniable. Each day you rise, each time you continue when giving up feels easier. Each decision to move forward affirms that you are the architect of your destiny. In embracing this daily devotion, you become a living testament to the power of perseverance, courage, and self-belief. Nothing can stop a soul that is committed, nothing can diminish a spirit that chooses to rise, and nothing can hinder a life that has pledged itself to the unstoppable self. When you live this way, every step, every breath, every action becomes a declaration. You are here, you are powerful, and you will rise, always, relentlessly, and without apology.